Ricardo I, known as Lionheart, was one of England's bravest kings. Born in 1157, he grew up amidst conflicts and trained to be a warrior. His fame came not only from ruling, but from leading battles with strength and strategy. He was feared by enemies and admired by his soldiers. His life was marked by adventures, conquests, and a passion for the Crusades. This script tells the story of his journey to his final, fateful campaign, a tale of courage, ambition, and a legacy that endured centuries. Ricardo was not just a king, but a symbol of resilience. His untimely death left mysteries and legends. From an early age, Ricardo showed talent for war and politics. Son of Henry II and Eleanor of Aquitaine, he inherited royal blood. His education included literature, but his heart beat stronger on the battlefield. At 16, he was already commanding troops and defending family interests. His relationship with his father was turbulent, full of betrayals and reconciliations. He learned that to survive, he needed to be strong and cunning. His mother, Eleanor, was a great influence in his life. She taught him about power and strategy, shaping the future king. Ricardo grew up quickly, ready to face the world. His youth was the foundation of his legend. In 1189, Ricardo was crowned King of England. His reign began with promises of glory and expansion. He saw the Crusades as a sacred and personal mission. To fund his campaigns, he raised taxes and sold offices. This caused discontent, but he did not back down from criticism. His goal was clear: to liberate Jerusalem from the Muslims. He set out for the Third Crusade, leaving the kingdom in trusted hands. His absence created problems, but he relied on his allies. Ricardo was willing to sacrifice everything for his faith and honor. The true test of his character was yet to come. The journey to the east was long and fraught with dangers. Ricardo faced storms, diseases, and mutinies among his troops. Along the way, he conquered the island of Cyprus, showcasing his military skill. He arrived in Acre in 1191, joining other Christian leaders. His presence shifted the war's momentum, inspiring his men. He was relentless in battle, but also knew how to negotiate. His greatest rival was Saladin, the Muslim sultan. The two respected each other, despite being on opposite sides. Ricardo won key battles, but Jerusalem remained out of reach. The war was far from over. Ricardo and Saladin fought a series of epic battles. At Arsuf, the English king displayed his tactical genius. He used discipline and patience to defeat a larger army. Saladin was impressed by Ricardo's courage. The two exchanged gifts and messages, even as enemies. Yet neither was willing to fully yield. Ricardo wanted Jerusalem. Saladin wanted the Christians gone. The stalemate dragged on, draining both sides. The war was costing lives and resources. Something had to change. In 1192, Ricardo and Saladin signed an agreement. Christians would keep some cities, but Jerusalem would remain with the Muslims. It was a pragmatic but bitter decision for Ricardo. He vowed to return one day to complete his mission. Meanwhile, news from Europe troubled him. His brother John was plotting to seize the English throne. Ricardo knew he had to return to protect his kingdom. His final crusade ended without total victory. But his legend only grew. He departed, leaving behind a legacy of bravery. On his way home, Ricardo was captured by Duke Leopold of Austria. He was handed over to the German emperor, who demanded a huge ransom. England mobilized to pay for their king's freedom. The people contributed, showing their love for Ricardo. 2 long years passed before his release. In that time, John seized the chance to strengthen his power. Ricardo, however, was not defeated. He returned more determined than ever. His captivity only heightened his fame as an indomitable leader. Now he had a kingdom to reclaim. Ricardo returned in 1194 to restore control. John fled, fearing his brother's wrath. The king forgave many traitors, showing mercy. But his focus soon turned to new conflicts. France was a constant threat to his territories. Ricardo spent the following years in military campaigns. He strengthened castles and alliances, preparing for the future. His reign was marked more by war than peace, but he ruled with justice and vision. England prospered under his protection. In 1199, Ricardo was fighting in France to defend his lands. During a siege of a minor castle, he was struck by an arrow. The wound seemed minor but soon became infected. Doctors tried to save him, but his condition worsened. Ricardo knew his time was near. He summoned his allies and settled final matters. He even forgave the archer who wounded him, showing nobility. His death marked the end of an era. The warrior king was gone, but his story would never be forgotten. The legacy of Lionheart would live on. Ricardo died on the 6th of April, 1199, at age 41. His body was buried at Fontevraud Abbey in France. His heart symbolically was taken to Rouen. The world lost one of history's greatest warriors. His brother, John, took the throne but lacked the same greatness. Ricardo became a legend, an inspiration for knights and kings. His courage and military skills were unmatched. He failed to take Jerusalem but earned a place in eternity. To this day, his name is synonymous with bravery and honor. Ricardo Lionheart lives on in human memory. Behind the warrior, there was a complex man. Ricardo was a poet, musician, and charismatic leader. He spoke multiple languages and appreciated culture. But his personal life was shrouded in mysteries. His sexuality was a subject of speculation for centuries. He left no heirs, focusing more on war than on love. His relationship with his mother was deep, almost devoted. He was human, with virtues and flaws. His historical figure is as fascinating as his battles. Ricardo was more than a king. He was an icon. Ricardo changed the course of the Crusades with his leadership. His presence gave hope to Christians in the East. He proved that Europeans could confront Saladin. Even without conquering Jerusalem, he left his mark. His methods influenced military strategies for decades. He showed that war was not just strength, but intelligence. His respect for Saladin set a new standard of conduct. The Crusades would never be the same after him. Ricardo was one of the last great Crusader leaders. His absence left a void that was hard to fill. His life inspired books, films, and legends. He is portrayed as a hero in works like Robin Hood. His rivalry with Saladin became a symbol of chivalry. Even today, historians debate his deeds and motivations. His image is used as an example of leadership and courage. Medieval songs and poems celebrate him as a paladin. His romanticized figure often overshadows the real man. But this only proves the power of his legacy. Ricardo transcended history to become a myth. His cultural influence is immeasurable. Ricardo taught that a leader must be just and courageous. He showed that even the greatest fail but never give up. His ability to inspire loyalty was unmatched. He proved that diplomacy and war go hand in hand. His life was a lesson in determination and resilience. He faced enemies, betrayals, and even death with dignity. His greatest mistake was neglecting his kingdom for the Crusades. But his love for glory was greater than anything. Ricardo reminds us that true greatness comes at a price. His example still resonates with leaders today. Richard the Lionheart was a man ahead of his time. His life was a saga of conquests and sacrifices. He died as he lived, in the midst of the battlefield. His legacy lives on in books, films, and the popular imagination. He may not have achieved all his goals, but he made history. His name is synonymous with bravery, honor, and passion. Ricardo was a king, a warrior, a legend. His final crusade was the last chapter of an extraordinary life. But his story will never end, for great men never die. They live forever in the pages of time.